it's Karen Burniston here with my monthly designer challenge video. The theme this month is Bejeweled, and we are all incorporating some shiny and sparkly things into our cards. For me, that is a row of 3 TVs. Now, each one of those TVs is a window, and you can spy something on the inside of the card through the window. Then you open it up, and the table pops up, and you can see that there is some fast food on the table. What makes the table pop up is our BAM box pop-up die set. And so there's a BAM box underneath the table. There's also a slot at the bottom to hold a standard size gift card. And then the closure is this fun little tuck-in corner closure. First, I made a top fold card, 4.5 inches wide by 8 inches tall, scored in the middle at 4 inches. And that's 100-pound black cardstock. Then I added some panels of a pattern paper. That is from PhotoPlay. I added it to the front and the inside, but not the back. The TVs are from our Memory Charms die set, so I will go ahead and style 6 of those. Okay, I'm going to use gunmetal mirror cardstock, and I'm going to just place the TV to get an idea of where the opening needs to be, because I would like to cut the opening first. So just with some temporary tape to hold that in place, I'm going to roll that through my die cutting machine. You can use any die cutting machine that can accommodate a wafer thin die. Today I'm using my little small Easy Cuts machine. Okay, now I can take the TV die and I'll be able to just line up the opening perfectly within the die, tape that down, then I can run that through, and then I will have a TV with an opening, so a window opening in the TV. I will not be using these TVs as charms, so I can trim off the charm hole at the top. And then to give the TV a little styling, I'm going to use a black Copic marker. I'm coloring in the antenna and the feet of the TV, and then I'm taking the brush marker and going all the way around the edges of the TV, both inside and outside, simply because that mirror card has a white core. For the buttons of the TV, I'm going to use some tiny rhinestones in keeping with our bejeweled theme for the month. And then I'll just repeat that process until I have 6 total TVs. Okay, now I want to figure out where to cut the window openings for the TV. So I'm going to arrange 3 TVs on the front of the card where I would like them to go. And then I'm going to place that window cutout die over the top and just nest it into the TV. It'll set right down in there because that's the die that was used to cut that opening. And then holding that in place, I can actually use a pen or pencil to go through the stencil feature of the die and add those lines onto the card. Then it will be really easy to just line up that die over the top of those pen lines to get the window placed in the perfect location. So now I remove the TVs, open up the card. I can look down through the die to see my pen marks to make sure that I've placed them in the right location. And then now I'm going to have to switch out to my bigger machine because I am putting the whole card through the machine. I will be using my Spellbinders Platinum 6. Now it is important that the card is open as I do this so that I'm only cutting through the front of the card. And because that is 100-pound cardstock with pattern paper on both sides, I'm going to hit it twice. And then I'm just going to hinge the die up and out of the way to see if it cut all the way through both layers. Because if it didn't, I can run back through again. But it got through all the layers with 2 passes, so now I just need to move the die and repeat that 2 more times. I'll use that same die to cut a notch in the bottom of the card so that I can slip a gift card into a pocket. So I'm just figuring out where the approximate center is of the bottom of the card, taping that die in place so that it's half on, half off the card, and then I'll roll it through. Okay, so there's my notch for my gift card, and then now I'm going to work on the closure. From that same thick 100-pound black cardstock, I've cut 2 1/4-inch by about 2-inch strips. And then with the card closed, I'm going to take that strip of cardstock right across the corner and then wrap the ends to the back. And then I'll just glue those down on the back of the card. It doesn't matter how they look on the back because I'm going to cover that with a piece of cardstock. So this is just about getting them in place. Then I repeat that for the other corners. So again, just having a little tip of the corner stick out past the cardstock. Then I just wrap the ends to the back and glue them down securely on the back of the card. And I'll make the adjustment to that closure after I have the pop-up inside the card. So for now, I'll just get it open by pulling those corners out. I cut a panel of cardstock for the back of the card that will cover up the closure as well as make the pocket for the gift card. So all I need to do is stick that gift card in, to have an idea of how wide it is so that when I add my glue to the back of the card, I'm avoiding the area that I want to be a pocket for the gift card. And certainly making a gift card slot is optional. Just don't cut the slot if you don't plan to put a gift card in there, and then just glue the panel completely down on the back instead of leaving a pocket. My very favorite glue is LINECO Neutral pH Adhesive in my fine tip bottle. We do sell both of those items on our website. And now I'm just going to glue the TVs around the window openings. And I'll do that for the front of the card and the inside of the card. And this is a really generic card base, so a fun little triple TV window card. You could put anything on the inside. I'm die cutting a Bambox pop-up out of my leftover black cardstock. Holding the Bambox with the crescent at the top, I fold mountain, mountain, mountain on the first 3 folds. Then there is 1 valley fold, and then 2 more mountains. Next, I need to use a strong adhesive to seal the valley closed. So just going in there with my glue and sealing up that valley, which will bring those holes together. My favorite rubber bands for Bamboxes are the number 8 firm stretch rubber bands. We do sell those in a little small baggie on our website. Just check under tools and accessories. I'm going to go around the shelf and into those 2 holes with that small rubber band. Then I hold the shelf at a diagonal. I bring the rubber band up and over the crescent and into the other 2 holes. Then I bring the piece back to flat again, add my adhesive all over that panel, including the crescent, and bring the other side up and into that adhesive. Now, if that assembly went too quickly for you, that's fine. There is a full assembly video on the Bambox pop-up. I will link it at the end of the video as well as in the description box below. Since it is the rubber band that causes it to pop up instead of the card fold, you can actually place it anywhere inside the card, and you can put it, of course, at any angle as well. I'm assembling a picnic blanket from our Picnic Elements die set by just putting the overlay over the top of the base. Okay, so now I have to choose a location for my picnic blanket so that I can see a portion of it in each of the TVs when the card is closed. So just holding it up behind the opening, I can pick an angle where I can see a little bit of blanket in all 3 TVs, but I'm also keeping it in such a location that it stays within the card limits in that closed position as well. So if I open this up, I can see, okay, great, I haven't crossed the fold, I'm not sticking out on any edges. Now, because that blanket is so big, I know that it's going to cover that Bambox table base as long as I put it, just kind of somewhere in the card at the base here, just remembering where that picnic blanket is going to go. And I'm going to have it collapse to the right, and I've got it on a diagonal. Okay, with my picnic blanket back in position again, then I'm going to collapse the Bambox, add my strong adhesive to the top panel of the Bambox, and then I'm going to carefully close the card with the Bambox collapsed so that it will hit the back of the picnic blanket in exactly the right position, and then it's going to pop it up as the card opens. And because that Bambox is placed on the diagonal, you do get that fun motion to the table as it pops up and down and to the left. Okay, once the pop-up is in, then it's okay to go ahead and adjust my corners. So right now it's just a little bit too tight on the corner closure. So the way I'm going to adjust that is just use my scissors to cut at a diagonal to take a little bit off. So I'll start by just taking off black cardstock. So I'm just cutting on a 45-degree angle just right to the corner of the paper. And I'll check that and see if that feels easy enough to open and close. And it does work, but I kind of feel like a little more needs to be taken off. So then I just go in there and take off another little sliver of the corner. And I can keep doing that until I get enough trimmed off so that it will hold easily in the corners, but then also open easily. I've decided on fast food on top of my table, so I'm using our Fast Food Charms die set. And I will link the assembly video for this at the end of the video and in the description box below. For placement, I will work with the card closed so that I can look through the window openings and make sure that I like the location in the closed position. And then when the card opens, of course, it'll bring that fast food up onto the table. And then I just repeat that process with the fries and the drink, just using a combination of looking through the window in the closed position and then attaching it to the table in whatever position looks good through the window. These little gem stickers from my stash are going to be perfect to add to the sesame seeds of the cheeseburger to really bling up that burger in keeping with our bejeweled theme. The French fry container was also kind of blending in a little bit to my background, so my thought was to make that shiny. So here's what I did. I embossed the die first so that I could take advantage of the stencil feature to use a white gel pen and add the detail to the French fry container. Then I'm going to put clear packing tape over the top of the piece and set that die right down over the grooves again. And I can look through the stencil feature to make sure that I have it placed well if it's hard to feel those grooves because of the packing tape. Then I tape that in place temporarily and run that back through my machine. So now I get the benefit of having a shiny French fry container, but still having been able to use the stencil feature by embossing it first, stenciling it, and then adding the packing tape. Okay, I'm going to trim out the inside since I'm putting this on to a French fry container that already has French fries in it. So a great way to add some contrast from the tablecloth, but then also it matches the theme. The greeting I chose came from our Word Set 14 Hugs set. I'm having my card say, "Sending a Smile." But of course, this really would be a great birthday card, Father's Day, Mother's Day, thank you. You know, it really could be any kind of theme. Back to my Memory Charms die set again, I'm assembling an oval frame, and I will use that as a place to sign the card and write a personal greeting. That Word Set 14 includes a small heart, and I decided to add a couple of those to the front of the card. And I did add packing tape to the red cardstock before die cutting so that the hearts would be shiny. This one is easy to mail. You can just use a regular A2 size envelope and it'll fit down in there. It's actually a pretty flat card. So really be thinking about how you could do this triple TV window card with other themes. So my original thought was maybe it could be a Father's Day card and there could be tools that are showing through the TVs. And they don't, of course, have to be on a picnic blanket when you open up the card. You could put anything on top of that band box to be your base for your pop-up items. So that could be a label or a circle or a square, whatever you'd like to use. It could be sports. It could be gardening. It could be a graduation card where you're using photographs in the TVs. So you could definitely really explore lots of different themes with that idea. And of course, the optional gift card slot makes it perfect for a gift as well. My card measures 4.5 by 4, but that can also be customized. So that corner closure idea, that could be used in the corners of any size card. If you wanted to add some more interactive fun, you could make those TVs into little shakers. Because this is a designer challenge, there is an associated blog post. You will find the link in the description box below. On that blog post, you will find photographs and supply links for my card, as well as links to all of the wonderful bejeweled inspiration by our talented design team. Thanks for watching. If you click on the website link, you'll go to KarenBurniston.com, where you can purchase these dies as well as find links to our other social media accounts. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel and check out some of my other videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.